Hi everyone, Happy New Year! This is Kassie, and these are the first weekly tarot horoscopes of the year for the week of January 3rd to January 9th. Our deck for today is the Black Cat Tarot, another cat-inspired deck featuring the magical black cat, and it has very interesting illustrations, and although it's cute and nice, it's also wise and symbolic. If you want to check last week's predictions, you can click on the link on top right, and if you are looking for a more personal tarot reading, you can always find me on my website www.cassiekai.com, an easy-to-use online psychic platform. But let's see what kind of energies we will experience this week. For Aries, we had the Ace of Wands, and now it's the Page of Pentacles. After the aces that you got for 3 consecutive weeks, now it's the Page of Pentacles, and although pages are very similar to aces, they do show some progress, and this one indicates that things start progressing finally with small steps, because there are still many stages before you reach the end result. However, this week you will move a little forward, and that will happen because you will probably receive important news or a message that you've been expecting, and message that has been delayed perhaps. Although you want to move ahead fast, keep in mind that things are still unfolding and they will take their course and progress will happen anyway. So if you try to block the flow, you will soon be forced to follow the course of things, so it's best that you don't try to force things to happen, although you may get a little impatient. A person who's an earth sign, Virgo, Capricorn or Taurus, will play a significant role this week, and don't be surprised if someone who disappeared or ghosted you a while ago is now resurfacing, and you will see that you are not yet done with that person or with that energy, because the Page of Pentacles may represent a situation, not a person, that has been stopped and is now restarting. And you may have to revise something. Further evidence that you are taking steps forward, but you are not there yet. The energy of the Page of Pentacles will help you achieve your goals, and it will help you realize your ambitions. And that's why this week opportunities will arise, opportunities that will lead to independence. And that could be financial independence or more independence in a relationship, or it could be that you are deciding to start a new path, a new career that will make you more independent in general. And you will be willing to make the necessary effort, and this energy will give you the inspiration and the motivation to go after your dreams. Also, there will probably be a very lucky coincidence and synchronicity, because pages do show opportunities, and as long as you remain grounded and realistic, you can be sure that you will make the right decisions. The energy of Pentacles points towards security and safe choices, and if you play safe, avoiding extreme reactions and drama, you will know that you are on the right path. That's because you will receive the right kind of response, either from the universe or from other people. For Taurus, we had the Knight of Wands and now the King of Swords. You have another court card this week, and it's the King of Swords. 2 weeks ago, you had the Queen of Cups, a water card associated with feelings. Then, last week, the King of Wands, that must have pushed you to take action, and you must have felt more energized and determined. And now the King of Swords, that puts the focus more on your thoughts, on your plans, but it also shows that you may have to deal with a person, probably an air sign male, Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, who's trying to control his feelings, either because he's not ready to express them or because he feels that he's not ready or willing to take the emotional responsibility of a relationship. However, there will probably be a serious and honest talk this week about a situation that you are both involved in, and that could be a professional or personal situation, and then you may decide to take some distance and reflect on what is going on and where you want this to go from now on. The difference between the King of Wands of last week and the King of Swords is that the King of Wands is action-oriented, which means that this week developments will be slower and there won't be as much action, but at the same time you will get a much better understanding of what is going on, and you will see that communication is getting more balanced, more clear, and more open, so it's important that you avoid lies, deception, or manipulation, as those things will probably backfire and you will not get what you want in the end. The King of Swords hates lies, and he's very good at sensing that something is off, and he has a very sharp intellect and sharp tongue. That's why it's advisable that you try to be diplomatic with him, as that's something that he understands very well and appreciates. Keep in mind that this person will do the right thing even if his feelings are against it. Under the energy of these two kings, you will get the chance to view a situation from many different angles and decide if that's what you want and if this person or situation is a good match for you and whether it's aligned with your vibration. Keep in mind that the King of Wands is a fire card, while the King of Swords is an air card, and fire and air strengthen each other. That's why you should expect that whatever you were dealing with last week, this week will get more intense, and things will continue progressing. It's certain that you won't get bored this week, and under the energy of the King of Swords, you will get clarity of thought, you will know what you want to do, and you will decide if you are willing to make certain compromises or not. For Gemini, we had the Two of Cups and now the World. This week it appears that something is coming to a completion, or it's the end of a significant stage in a relationship or a project that will be a turning point for that relationship, be it personal or professional. And with the Two of Cups you had last week, we are probably looking at a romantic relationship, and maybe you now realize that's how far a situation can go, and there will be beginnings and endings at the same time. People who are abroad will be in your focus, and there will probably be more communication with them or even plans for traveling. And if you are in a long-distance relationship, this week you may start looking towards a new chapter in that relationship. Maybe it has been a long and complex journey, but you now know where you are heading, and that means you will be able to make decisions that will be more beneficial for you in the long run. And if there has been a tendency to go back and forth, this week you will probably try to finish what you've started. You will stick to your decisions as the next stage is waiting for you. The good news is that the timing now is perfect for what you are trying to achieve, so try to make the most of this energy. Don't hesitate and don't postpone. The World is associated with the planet Saturn, and that's the great taskmaster, the planet that teaches us lessons. Don't forget the lessons you learned the last few months, and don't ignore the signs, good or bad, as that's what will give you the best guidance at this stage. If you find yourself repeating old patterns, try to break those patterns with awareness, because that will help you experience more beneficial energies around you. Or if you find that another is repeating their old patterns and they are trying to pull you into them, try to detach yourself and show them that you are not willing to participate in silly games that messed things up between you in the past. It's important that this week you connect with your own world, with what makes you feel happy and comfortable, with those small things that make life more beautiful, and try to fight a tendency to do everything perfect, as that will probably cause delays and maybe a repeat of situations and energies that have held you back in the past. If you're wondering about the feelings of another, the world suggests that they feel complete around you and that you make them feel calm in some way. If physical distance stands in the way, this is a good time to see how you can get closer to a person, as that's something that will help you strengthen your connection. For Cancer, we had the Sun, and now it's the Knight of Swords. The Sun you had last week and the Knight of Swords you got this week show feelings of warmth and friendliness, and this night suggests that you will have a significant talk with someone who's probably an air sign, Libra, Gemini or Aquarius, and they will be honest with you. They will show you that you can trust them. The Knight of Swords often indicates some contrast, so perhaps this person has a tendency to fight with you in conversations or intellectually, and they may feel you each could hold your own against the other in a war of words, and they have their swords drawn and ready, so to speak. So even if you like each other very much, there will be a disagreement or a misunderstanding, and perhaps you will clash in some sort of conflict with them, and that will make you or them angry. So you need to be a little cautious this week when it comes to how you express your thoughts. However, this kind of contrast might be the result of the tendency that this person has to fight their feelings, to suppress them, and with the Sun you got before, which is a card of ego, it's possible that they are being very selfish and they put their own needs above the needs of everyone else. And if those disagreements and debates have got too frequent, then you may want to take a good hard look at the foundation of this relationship and see if that's what you want. The energy of the Knight of Swords will give you clarity this week, as swords are cards of the mind, and also the power and determination to put a stop to drama, especially if you find yourself in a situation that's very draining emotionally, because you find it hard to relate to another emotionally. Given that this is one of the fastest cards in Tarot, you may find that things are progressing very fast this week, and there might be developments that you did not anticipate, as the Knight of Swords can be unpredictable, and something may happen that will trigger action and forward movement that will save you a lot of time and energy. This will be a fast-paced week, and there will be a lot of messages, communications, talks. So if communication with another was blocked in the previous days or weeks, now communication channels are opening up again. Just a little caution though, as under the energy of this night, you may come off as too aggressive, and that could lead to fights and arguments. For Leo, we had the Strength and now the Eight of Wands. You have another fire card this week, Leo. It was the Strength you got before, and now it's the Eight of Wands, and that means your perseverance and patience will trigger a series of actions that will bring very fast results. There will be very fast developments and communications, and things will be rather hectic, and what was stalled and delayed will start moving forward swiftly. And you will have to think on your feet and act fast so that you don't lag behind. And maybe you were the one who caused those delays, because the Strength card shows effort, but it also shows some hesitation. So maybe you were holding back a little, or another was holding back, but now energies are shifting. Wands are high energy, fire cards, and that means you now have the power to hit bullseye. So if you are wondering how another is feeling about you, attraction is very strong, sexual energies are strong too, and this person will show you his interest or his feelings in a way that you may not expect. Just a little caution, because there will be a tendency to give a strong reaction to another's actions, but try to respond instead of reacting. Reacting means that there's a risk you will repeat automatic patterns that don't always guarantee that you will get what you want, especially if you start pushing someone's buttons. In relationships, this is a week that can either make or break a relationship. It all depends on how you will decide to use your energy. The Eight of Wands can help you get what you want, or can make you destroy things that you've been building for a long time in a really unceremonious way. An unexpected trip can happen, or an unexpected event may force you to travel. Events that happen between 23rd November to 3rd December may be of particular significance now, and there might be a culmination or completion of something that started back then. The Eight of Wands is Mercury in Sagittarius, and you will have your eye on the future this week. You will see possibilities and broader perspective, and you or another around you may act a little rebellious or unpredictable. For Virgo, we had the Ten of Wands and now the Magician. After the intense and rather stressful Ten of Wands, you now have the Magician, Virgo, and that means that this week you will prove yourself finally, but not without great effort, and there is something that you are pursuing, which could be a personal or professional goal, and that must have been quite stressful or draining the previous week. But now, using willpower and determination, you will make things manifest and you will surprise others with your clever actions. And even if you feel exhausted, the Magician tells you that you do have the skills required to get things done, and you will sort things out very easily now, even if that seemed to be very difficult, almost unattainable the previous weeks. You will feel very confident and ready to act this week, and the energy of this card is very compatible with yours. Although the Magician is an air card, it's also a card of the mind, a realm that you find very comfortable to be in, Virgo. So this week you can expect that things will go your way and people will give you the response that you want to get. Now, there might be someone who's coming and going into your life, and that's another manifestation of the Magician, and maybe they are an air sign, Gemini, Libra or Aquarius, and they do that because they want to have things their way, and with this behavior they are trying to manipulate and control the situation. How successful they will be depends on the kind of reaction you will give and how you will respond to this attitude. Which means that if you play their game, they will probably continue doing the same thing over and over, and maybe that's not exactly what you want. If that's the case, the way to get out of this vicious circle is to change the way you treat them and become a little unpredictable yourself. Remember that you are the only person in this world that can use your abilities, your talents, your skills, so try to make a good use of your gifts. There is magic in this world and miracles can happen, but it's also about trusting your ability to create them. This week you will understand that you do have options and possibilities. It's just a matter of choosing the right path. The astrological association of the Magician is Mercury, and Mercury favors communications, negotiations, intellectual activities, traveling, which means that this is a good week to make plans and get involved in any of the above. For Libra, we had the Six of Pentacles and now the Knight of Wands. The agreement or deal you had last week with the Six of Pentacles is now triggering action and developments as you got the Knight of Wands, a card of fast action, surprises and forward movement. And there might be an unexpected arrival or an unexpected move from someone who has been a little unstable or unpredictable, and that someone could be a fire sign, Leo, Aries or Sagittarius, and maybe they will try to get your attention in a way that's rather loud, and you may not know how to respond, as it will be something you did not anticipate. And one thing you should not do is to overanalyze and overthink a situation. And that's a Libra, sometimes you have the tendency to be indecisive or to hesitate to take action when someone takes you by surprise. But in this case, you should be decisive and determined to get what you want, as those qualities will be appreciated by those involved. Either we are talking about a personal or professional situation. The temperature will rise this week and things will get quite intense. Sexual energies will be strong and communications will be fast, and you may receive news sooner than you thought, and a message may come that you did not expect, a message that will somehow trigger action and developments, or there will be news that are quite surprising, so expect the unexpected this week, Libra. Try not to plan long-term this week. It's best that you focus on a step-by-step process without trying to predict everything. Although these are not the early stages of a situation and some steps have already been taken, there are many things that need to happen yet, many stages to be experienced, so take one day at a time and see where the flow leads you. Process that started between 13 November to 12 December may be completed this week, or a message you received then will now make more sense and you will know how to respond and what you need to do. A Sagittarius may play an important role now and you may decide to start something new. If you find yourself feeling indecisive, going for change is the best course of action now, so try not to procrastinate, as this intense fire energy is very beneficial if you want to move on from situations that are holding you back. For Scorpio, you had the 5 of Pentacles and now the 6 of Swords. After the stressful energy of the 5 of Pentacles, this week tension is being released, and the 6 of Swords will help you go with the flow and feel much better, especially if you decided to put an end to worries and take some distance from stressful situations. And this week you will start seeing new destinations that await you, and in fact, the 6 of Swords is the card of moving on, which can be emotional and mental, but it can also be a physical move that you are about to make or a journey. And it's not that you have resolved all the issues, and in the near future there will still be things that you need to sort out, but you will do so with a clearer mind and with a more grounded and logical attitude. Stress will lessen as you will be able to move away from unhealthy energies. If you feel lost and you don't know which direction to take, it's important to trust that life is already taking you to the right direction. It's important to keep moving like a bicycle that's balanced only when in motion. The 6 of Swords is Mercury in Aquarius, and that means that your thoughts are now getting faster, more intense, and more forward-looking. So you will probably start thinking more about the future of a situation and less about its present or its past. And that means if the future you envision does not feel right or promising, you may decide to let it go and set sail for new shores that are probably more welcoming and promising. You will find that you have new options that appear to be more in tune with your current thinking and attitude. And that means you may hurt someone's feelings in that process, because you will now find it easier to rationalize your emotions, and in a way that logic overpowers them. So this week you will probably decide to do what's right according to your logic, and for a while you may decide to leave your feelings aside, as you're not willing to participate in emotional drama, especially if you suspect that drama is the most likely outcome of a particular connection. And that probably has to do with past experiences that must have caused you heartache, and you don't want to repeat old mistakes, and that's actually a very good idea, because it's certain that the universe will reward you for a lesson well learned. You should expect some very interesting developments between January 30 and February 8th, and energies around you will be very strong, intense at that time, So if you have a serious decision to make or an important meeting to attend, it's good to do it between those dates, as energies will be particularly beneficial for you. For Sagittarius, we had the Ten of Swords and now the Two of Wands. You got a rather difficult card last week, Sagittarius. It was the Ten of Swords, but now you got the Two of Wands, which means that energies are settling down, but at the same time you are being presented with choices. The Two of Wands would be two different options that will manifest this week, and that could be two different professional opportunities, life paths, or two different persons to choose from. And in any case, you will have to make a choice this week, a choice that you have probably made already. And maybe you just need to bring it to your conscious awareness, as you are probably feeling a little indecisive or even confused this week. And don't be surprised if there's a power struggle in one of your relationships, so you and another person, you are both standing your ground, there is no flexibility, you both want to get what you want, and what you want is different things. Someone has to surrender to the other, but that's not happening, not at this stage at least. The Two of Wands is called the Lord of Dominion, so it's clear that we are looking at a contrast here. It's about who wins, who gets his or her way. So you may make a move and the other person makes another move, like a game of chess. They react and you react to the reactions and so on and so forth. And this can go on for a few days. But since it's just the two, I expect that soon this energy will be transformed. On the one hand, there is stubbornness, and on the other hand, there is indecisiveness, and that's a difficult combination. It's as if you don't know exactly what you want, but at the same time, you are not open to considering another person's point of view, and that applies to the other person too. They are not able to see things from your viewpoint, and that creates a rather fiery situation, since we got Wands and Wands are fire cards. The Two of Wands is Mars in Aries, and that means you will feel very determined to do things your way, and you may find it difficult to consider another's needs or expectations. And the other person will probably act in the same way, and before you know it, there will be a full-on battle between you. But once a decision is made, all this high energy, all this tension will be resolved. And it doesn't have to be a final decision either, but maybe some sort of compromise or agreement that will hold for a while until the situation stabilizes a little. For Capricorn, we had the Six of Wands and now the Ace of Cups. Last week with the Six of Wands, you got the opportunity to create something very positive, and maybe you got a reward that made you feel really good, or you felt the appreciation and the support of someone significant. Now, with the Ace of Cups, you get the opportunity to create an emotional connection and bond that will make you feel really great about the connection. Now, since aces represent the seed and the first stages of something, the challenge here will be to seize the opportunity and turn it into something that is more sustainable, and that will require time and energy and also patience. An ace always shows a beginning or a restart that has potential to become something more. However, you need to put the energy in it to transform it into something more substantial. So if you're wondering how a situation will progress, the universe is giving you the opportunity now to make it grow, and it feels that there will be an opening for you that will allow you to connect with another in a deeper and more meaningful way. And if you are wondering about their feelings, there is already a spark that could get stronger in time, and attraction is there, so their feelings are warm and positive. The Ace of Cups is traditionally a card that shows a new beginning in love, but it could be any type of new beginning that will make you feel great about yourself and about how things are. Whatever matter concerns you, these days you will find a way to make things better. With the Ace of Cups, expect a message that will make you feel really good, and this message could be an invitation to a pleasant meeting or a romantic invitation or an offer you've been expecting. One thing you should be cautious about is that this card is at times associated with water problems, literally, a leak for instance, and also with water in your body. Make sure you keep yourself hydrated, your skin, your body, and everything that's near water is favored. For instance, if you are thinking to buy or rent property near water, it will be a good choice, a good investment to give you an idea of how things might play out. But basically the Ace of Cups is a sign of relief after news you will receive. So the positive energies continue, and it's all about how you want to feel. And this week you will want to make more positive thoughts and feel more positive feelings. A burst of new emotions will make you feel really good. For Aquarius, we had the Queen of Swords and now the Page of Wands. You got the Queen of Swords last week, and that's a serious energy, but this week the Page of Wands will put you in a lighter and more playful mood, and you will see that others around you are lighter too, so you can expect some nice warm vibes and positive messages this week. And maybe there has been a talk last week or a message that gave you clarity, and you are now feeling more optimistic about your options and about the potential in your life, and also about the way you want to move forward, because the Page of Wands is an action card, and it's a card that will push you to take some steps. Also, there might be a fire sign person around you, a Leo, Aries or Sagittarius, that will inspire and motivate you, and his or her positive vibe might be contagious. So this week you will feel that you are fed up by overanalyzing a situation or by having too many expectations from someone, and you may decide to have some fun instead. You may get a very pleasant message or phone call or an unexpected visit that will make you feel very happy. The person you will connect with seems to have a very youthful and positive energies, and sexual energies will be strong too, so you may feel very attracted to someone. Maybe this person is new, because pages foretell new beginnings and fresh energy that comes into your life. And maybe that's a much needed break after the seriousness of the previous week. The Page of Wands is traditionally associated with job offers and new beginnings in career, so if you are looking for a job, expect positive news this week, as your skills, experience and abilities will be mostly appreciated. This will be a busy week anyway, and you may find a new interest, a hobby, a new love interest. The only thing you need to be aware of is that the energy of this page is very intense, fire energy, but it can be very easily spent, which means that your interest for a particular activity, project or person may be short-lived, and after a few days you will realize that what appeared to be exciting isn't as interesting as it initially appeared to be. And since you are at the very early stages of development, you need to give something time to fully grow. The good news is that the Page of Wands, as all pages, shows potential, so whatever you decide to start this week can become long-lasting, as long as you are ready and willing to invest time and energy in it. For Pisces, we had the Page of Pentacles, and this week the Six of Wands. Maybe you decided to make a new beginning last week, or you received a message that led to an opportunity, an opening that was very positive for you, and this week the good vibes continue, because the Six of Wands represents a reward that's coming your way, a reward you earned after hard efforts, and there are people around you or someone who supports your plans and shares your vision. And sixes are interactive. They show an exchange of energy between you and another, and this one is about showing or receiving admiration for what you offer to another. The Six of Wands shows strong attraction, so if you're wondering about the feelings of someone, expect intense chemistry between you, strong sexual vibes, warm feelings. The Six of Wands is Jupiter in Leo, and that's an energy of leadership, of taking initiative and getting things done, so you may feel that you have to lead the situation this week in your personal or professional life, and you will be very energized and active. Just make sure that you are not overdoing it, because there's a risk that you may start pressuring a situation in a way that you are not realizing, and that's because Jupiter is expansive, so there's always a tendency to overdo it, to do more than needed, especially in things that you have a burning desire to achieve. And since the energy of Leo at times can manifest as too much ego or too much unnecessary action, you may want to keep in mind the balance that sixes represent and try to strive for harmony in your interactions or in your communications. And that means you should not be the one to make the most effort all the time. If you make a move, wait for another's response before you make another move. The Page of Pentacles you had last week is a good card, but it's a little slow and passive. Now, under the energy of the Six of Wands, you will feel that things are speeding up, developments are faster, and you will feel that another is mirroring you in some way, which means that if you want another to act or respond in a certain way, you should show them with your attitude in what way you expect them to treat you. If you find there's too much pride or ego in a situation, that's because you or another needs to be admired and recognized to feel special, and that could be a sign of immaturity. So you may want to decide whether you want to play that game or not. So these were the weekly tarot horoscopes for the week of January 3rd to January 9th. I hope you enjoyed them, and I will see you next week. I wish you a very happy and prosperous new year.